Hello, namaste, and welcome back to the Soul to Soul Conversations podcast. We hope you're really well. We're excited to be here with you. I'm Caroline Crawford.
And I'm Paul Crawford. And on this podcast, we decided to do something a little bit different. We're going to have a Q&A session with Jerama. They're my non-physical team that have been working with us both now for a good number of years, offering their wisdom and their guidance. And we've found them so helpful with what they've come through, as have so many others.
So Paul's going to call Jerama in. They are a collective and they have been working with us since about 1989. And I can honestly say that they have enhanced and enriched my life and helped me out of some very times in my life that I felt very challenging. But we're going to put some questions to them. Some of them are our questions, some that friends gave us recently. And we'd also like to say if anything arises from this conversation that we're going to have with Jerama, that brings questions forth in you, leave them down in the comments and we will put them to them in future podcasts. So I can hear and feel Jerama coming through. So enjoy.
Hello, my friends. Shall we begin?
Yes. So thank you, first of all, so much for being with us. We really do feel honoured and enjoy this time with you always. So our first question or questions is, please could you share with our community some insights about yourselves? Have you at any time existed on Earth, and your previous any connections with Paul and myself, along with your purpose or mission with us in this lifetime? Thank you.
Yes, indeed, there is an essence or an aspect of our existence that has inhabited the earth and other dimensions. And upon the earth plane, it has been one of the principal experiences was in ancient Egypt. And there was much that took place during that time of great evolvement and a deeper understanding, where we had a much stronger connection in the energies of creation, in the energies of existence. And that is why so much has taken place in ancient Egypt that still to this day remains unanswered. And many of those questions will remain unanswered until the consciousness of humanity has risen sufficiently in order that that knowledge can become known, as it were, to the masses. As far as our role now is principally to support not just yourselves, but to support humanity in whichever way that we can. You have chosen to incarnate on this occasion, and it is our selection to remain in non-physical and to do our part here as much as possible. For there is always a limitation on what we can do, but it is more about nudging you in the right directions, creating an energy and a vortex around yourselves that will awaken that innate element that you are these infinite beings of divine love, and allow that to come through more in your everyday life. Those are the key aspects of life, of human life. It is that evolvement and ultimately to expand sufficiently in order to bring about a greater change, a moving away from the enslavement that has gone on in this world to a greater freedom, a freedom of existence, a freedom and existence that is more in alignment with those divine energies of creation. And your journey and our journey is all about that further expansion. That further expansion that will take us to those higher realms of existence. And also that greater joy. Because as we expand more, we more naturally radiate a deeper aspect of joy that is at the core of our being. And therefore, it is really important for you to find ways to allow that joy to come out whilst you are here in this physical environment that so often puts a lot of pressures upon you. Free yourselves. Free yourselves to enjoy life in ways that bring about a smile to the faces of all humanity. Ways that are in alignment with the loving energies of creation.
Thank you. Thank you. So we have a couple of questions around the subject of our galactic family. And the first question is, are there particular star beings and civilizations off planet that are specifically looking to reconnect with us and to make contact that is also part of our blueprint to cultivate a greater understanding and unity on Earth, or for any other reason?
There are many dimensional existences beyond this physical realm, despite what science would have you believe. For science has its point, science has its place, but there is so much more to understanding what true life is, what true existence is. And in these other dimensional realities, there are these, shall we say, community existences that some have been where you are now, others were already incarnated and maintained a higher resonance, a higher frequency. And along with that greater and expanded consciousness, evolved into the certain technologies that are not currently available here. And their understanding is that in order for part of their journey, in the same way that us in non-physical are here to assist your journey here on Earth, so it is also there. They have taken it upon themselves that it is part of their mission to assist in that process. So they have the capacities to move between dimensional existences. And as such, they will, and they are, shall we say, and they will continue to work in many different ways. But as the consciousness of humanity expands and the vibrational energy increases, then that assistance will also increase, and communication between the two sets of community, the human beings and the non-human beings, shall we say, that will increase. It is all about a coming together within a greater unity. But that greater unity, there needs to be an equalization of the current knowledge. And that current knowledge here on Earth requires an uplift, shall we say, in order that it can resonate more in greater alignment to the energies of this assistance that is coming from off-planet. Now there is many talk of the the different assistances that are out there. And we would ask you to go beyond the naming of things and allow yourself to connect to the energy of it. How does it feel for you? What is that energy providing you? Because as you begin to want to put a name to something, you then want to find out more about that existence. And often that takes away from the energy that is required, that should be focused more upon yourselves. The purpose for you being in this physical life on earth is to expand, is to live this life here. And so we say, open yourself up to the possibilities of this we're going to refer to as not just non-physical help, but off-planet assistance. But rather than being focused on who and what they are, you will find out more of what they are all about when you connect to them through and resonance. And rather than connecting them with your mind and your thinking, you connect to them through your heart center, through your emotions, through your true essence. Throughout all of this life, if you allow your true essence to be your guidance system, you will find that your evolvement will become a lot more accelerated. So much that has been forming a question within yourself about different aspects of life, of existence, will become known to you through that stillness. And yes, you may say that is something that you always say, because it is true. As you allow yourself to enter into the stillness, you're allowing yourself to go beyond the limitations of this physical. You're allowing yourself to go beyond the questioning, and you connect directly to the understanding and the knowledge of something. But you also have to have trust in yourselves, my friends. Have the trust in yourselves that we have within you. For as much as it was your journey to return to earth, to reincarnate into this earth plane, you did so in the knowledge that you will achieve all that you need to achieve. And that is that greater expansion. And along with that greater expansion comes the further essence of what you have come to do. You will be emanating an energy of pure love. And as you emanate that energy of pure love, so much more will unfold to you. Your journey will continue in ways that are currently, we would say, beyond your wildest imagination. No matter how imaginative you may think you are, what is possible is far beyond that. So just know that that assistance is there, and it will continue. But also, you are bringing your energies to their further evolvement. As within all aspects of life, it is about giving as well as receiving. It is about the ebbs and flows. So be kind with yourselves. be understanding, and do not think of it as a mad dash as to who can finish first. You are infinite beings, therefore it is an infinite journey, and allow it to unfold with grace and understanding through that greater alignment to the essence of your truth.
Thank you. So, still around the galactic connections and family, in our own multidimensionality, are aspects of our consciousness also part of these expanded beings that we wish to have contact with?
Yes, indeed. The energy that comes into this physical aspect of yourself is but a fraction of existence, is a fraction of that consciousness that permeates everything and is everywhere. So it is a little bit like, think of yourself as a glove. Your consciousness and the consciousness that you are connected to is the main part of the hand, and the extensions are dimensional existences that then your consciousness will permeate into in order to experience that dimensional life. And that may mean that you have one existence, or you have many existences. And each existence, each dimensional existence, interacts with each other. As we have said many times before, nothing is separate. And as one aspect of expansion takes place within one, it creates an uplift of resonance and vibration within all of the other existences, including that of the non-physical existence. And that is part of the growth of not just humanity, but of everything. The growth and expansion to become more enlightened. And in that greater enlightenment, you will find that embodying that in this physical life, you will go beyond many of the more, shall we say, the more negative aspects of human existence. So allow yourselves that freedom to move into that new energy. Allow yourself the freedom to move into that new and more expanded existence. Because this movement will be taking you in to what is often being referred to as the new earth.
And will the new, or not the new souls, will the children that are coming onto the earth now, and this next generation, be more informed, more aware, more equipped to deal with what the older generations have had to deal with gaining more freedom, with being more aware?
You will find that there will be a mix, as there always is, but yes, generally there will be a deeper connection and a stronger connection to the truth of their being, more so than it has been before. And that is part of what you are creating now by expanding your current awareness into that greater radiance that is generating and creating the energies that are required to allow this to take place, for the incarnation of those new beings to be able to have that freedom to express that truth in the most natural way. And everything, it's about building blocks. Everything builds on what has gone before. And this is why we are always reminding you to be aware of the distractions in your life. The distractions that are taking you off your pathway to that greater expansion. And just because you are on this journey towards that greater expansion, that does not mean that it is a chore, it is a burden, for it is not that at all. As you become more aligned, you will find the joy within everything. You find that greater joy within everything that you do, because it is what you are. You are a radiant, joyful bundle of energy. It is a matter of choosing to allow that to be so.
Thank you. So another question a friend put forward for you, Jerama, was how will technology, and in particular AI, help with the advancement of human development, and what are the potential risks in its evolution?
As we have said, as the consciousness of humanity raises and the communication and interaction between these off-planet existences becomes increased, those greater technologies that are known to those existences will be shared upon this earth plane. But it will be shared in a way that is more productive in terms of what the consciousness of humanity will or is capable of perceiving and being utilized in a more positive way. It is not about just giving things away and throwing humanity in at the deep end and saying get on with it. The awareness, the consciousness, the expansion has to come into being first. It will open you up to the potentials of what exist within technological advances. And AI is part of that journey. And it is important, like any situation, that it is used in a way to assist and to aid improvement, rather than you to become enslaved to it and allowing it to take control. But as we have spoken about, as you allow your more expanded self to come into being, then that aspect will quite naturally be known to you in how best to use that, shall we say, a tool. That tool, for that is what it is, It is like anything. You use a frying pan to cook things in rather than just holding them over a flame. It makes the process easier. It allows you to do more things. So it is moving you away from any limitation. And that is what AI will ultimately be for. It will be there to provide the backup information and certain ways of questioning that will maintain an existence of humanity that is in greater alignment with itself. That is, if you use it as a tool and not become enslaved to it. And by enslave, we mean allowing it to think for you rather than you thinking and assessing the information that it is creating. Your existence here is not to let go in terms of your own choices that you wish to make. It is about using the tools to hand to assist you in making better decisions, in creating a life and an existence that is of greater benefit to yourself and to all. But as with all things currently in this physical existence, there are those that would wish to manipulate the situation and the use of certain things to a more personal benefit, a more personal gain. And that will be the downfall more than anything. And how that energy will then evolve and create a whole different set of circumstances. But we do not say that to you to create a fear in any way, shape or form, but rather to remind you to be true to yourself, be true to your beliefs, and be true to your divine essence of existence.
When you say will be your downfall, were you implying it will be or could be?
Could be.
Could be.
If you allow the pathway to lead in that direction, then it will be the downfall. But if you choose to stay in that more aligned state and making choices from that aligned state of being, then all will be well. For when you are making choices that are based upon love, then the outcome will be love.
Well, they're like spirit guides, really. Never taking our free will, but just offering us guidance, and then always making that decision from our own self. So we're empowering ourselves. We're not giving away our choices, our decisions.
Indeed, everything still comes down to self. And the choice is and will always be yours as to what you wish to do. Do you wish to remain where you are in the resonance that you are currently radiating? Or do you choose to allow yourself to grow more and more to grow into your fullest potential. And as your fullest potential is an infinite being, then we are saying to you that your choices will be ongoing, but also with that further expansion, as we have already said, there will be a greater satisfaction, a greater sense of well-being within yourself if you allow yourself to radiate with that frequency of love.
Thank you. So is there anything you'd like to close with? What do you think is the most empowering thing you could share with us, for us as in this lifetime, where we are now in this ascension process?
Be yourself. Be who you are. And do not hide in the shadows for fear of being ridiculed or put down in any way. This is not to say that you will strut about like peacocks, but rather that you will emanate your great beauty, that inner beauty that comes from the truth of your being. You are all wonderful, magnificent, infinite, divine existences. Think of yourself as that energy rather than the physical aspect that you often look at in the mirror. See beyond the physical of yourself and of life. Connect emotionally, connect energetically, and you will find that your life will become more enriched with every breath you take. And with that, my friends, we will say goodbye for now. But as always, and as we have said before, have some fun, and you'll never go back. Goodbye, my friends.
Thank you so much for myself and all our listeners. Thank you very much. Love to all. Well, I found that very interesting. He said a few new things, and I think, yeah, we've always said with my guide and us, just be who we are, live authentically from our hearts, and that's the way we expand further and we create such a fun, creative, abundant, blessed, joyful, loving, compassionate world here. So thank you, Paul.
Well, yeah, well, thank you, Team Jerama.
Yeah. Well, we are about to go and have some fun. We are flying to Utah in 3 days' time, somewhere that's been on our wish list for many years. So we're very excited to go. Some wonderful places we're going to be visiting. We're traveling around a little bit. So we are definitely going to have fun. It's at the top of the list.
Yeah, absolutely. As with many of those places, we'll be exploring new avenues to experience entering into stillness in some of those special places.
Yes. So thank you so much for listening. It means the world to us. Please remember to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and do like or share. And as I say, if there's any questions that arise within you would like us to put to Jerama in future podcasts, please do, because we love having a kind of wider breadth of questions to share with others. So keep shining your light, feel our love. Thank you again to Jerama.
And that leaves us just to say,
Namaste.